Is pycnogenol good for brain function?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, there's many ways we think about brain function,
Okay.
but I think what's really interesting about pycnogenol is that you have to realize our brains need blood, right? That's the only way our brain functions, is getting blood, and that's the only way it's going to get oxygen.
Okay.
And so what pycnogenol does is keep these big blood vessels that are in our carotid arteries,
All right.
helps keep them open.
Okay.
And when you keep them, so it does it in two ways. So it helps keep the big blood vessels open so that the blood is flowing into our brain.
And we get oxygen that way.
And we get oxygen that way. And it also keeps the small blood vessels open. And the small blood vessels are the ones that are inside, the little capillaries that are inside our brain that are taking the blood that comes from the carotid arteries and brings it out into all the different parts of our brain. So you're getting you're getting protection in the capillary levels, and you're getting protection in the big giant blood vessel levels.
Okay.
And the reason why that's so important is because it can help support a healthy memory. It can help support against things like just that cognitive decline, that sort of.
Where did I put my car keys?
Absolutely.
Why am I standing here in front of the refrigerator?
Why can't I recall who,
I know you, but what's
yeah,
your name?
but where do I know you from? That sort of thing. That's just that stuff that we go through. And the reason why that happens is because we get what we call little white matter changes, which means those capillaries die. And when the capillaries die, they no longer bring oxygen to that part of the brain, and they kill off that part of the brain. Luckily, we only use not luckily, but we only use such a small portion of our brain that, it takes
not so luckily, maybe.
But it takes a lot for that to start accumulating, and then it starts accumulating. And then that's when we get into trouble. So that's where pycnogenol helps. Pycnogenol will help on the capillary level, keeping the capillaries open inside the brain, and then it works on the big blood vessels to keep the blood flowing to the brain so that it brings the oxygen there. So it slows down cognitive decline. It keeps your memory going. It keeps you feeling vibrant. It keeps you feeling alive. It keeps you feeling mentally alert. All of these things that we want to do. That's all attributable to the brain. We could talk about, Alzheimer's and all of those other things, but when you look at, take the brain from strictly basic stuff, pycnogenol works on the basic level. You've got to get the circulation to the brain. You've got to get the blood to there. And how pycnogenol does that is by keeping the collagen and elastin working and functioning. So it helps keep the patency of the blood vessels open. And then it also supports microcirculation, which are those capillaries that I keep talking about. So it works, this wonderful natural substance from a pine tree bark works in so many different ways, but they're very fundamental, basic ways for our bodies to remain healthy. And that's for me as a clinician is terrific, that to be able to have something like that to offer to people.
As opposed to some sort of pharmaceutical?
Or a pharmaceutical, or some of the other nutritional supplements that are out there that have not been so extensively studied, sort of like ginkgo. People talk about ginkgo for brain health all the time. And that's one of those that are just assumed. Because it's been used forever. And there's not a lot of clinical data to support that. There is with pycnogenol, so I'm happy to recommend pycnogenol. I recommend ginkgo as well, and vitamin E, and there's so many different brain nutrients, phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylserine. There's a lot, acetyl L-carnitine, lion's mane. We can go on and on and on about how many different things there are for brain health. But
this sounds very fundamental, though.
Correct. Pycnogenol is the fundamental. Got to get the blood flow to the brain, and you've got to get the blood to there so that you get oxygen, and then the capillaries transport the oxygen to all parts of the brain. So it works at the most basic fundamental aspect of keeping our brains healthy.
So then we don't have that fuzzy, dizzy thinking, that foggy
brain fog. It's so important that we don't have that. It's really nice.
And it's oxygen, blood circulation and oxygen to the brain.
That's what it's all about. If you have healthy circulation, there's very few things that can go wrong with you.
And pycnogenol helps with that immensely.
Pycnogenol is one of the few nutritional supplements that I recommend across the board for anybody who either has a circulation problem or wants to prevent one from ever happening to them.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.